Hello, I built a Glimmerbrook save file. It is only the world of Glimmerbrook. It uses not every pack. I limited it down to about 15 packs, which I'll show in a second. I have all the information linked in a Patreon post because I just made a Patreon specifically so I could upload the save file for download if anybody wants it. And you could find it at patreon.com/crackedkyber. I'll also have it just linked in the description so you could easily find it there. But it has all of the information for the entire save file. I'll pull that up. So this you could find in the description. It has all the information, all of the lots that I have. So there's Grandparents Cottage, Rockridge, Witchy Cabin, Library Venus, and Evergreen Potions. It has my hashtag, which is #Kyber Glimmerbrook, which is how you can find them to place them from the gallery if you are on console, or if you just want to download some of the builds, you don't really want a whole save file for it. That is an option. It uses all of these packs, has a few new families. I got rid of everybody who was originally in the world and just did my own thing and made my own stories. Each of them have little brief bios if you click on all of them. I had to make it pretty short. If you want to hear like all of the lore that I was coming up with while I was making them, what inspired them, their personalities and the builds, I have speed builds for each of them. And yeah, so I also refreshed the magic realm. That's a whole speed build too. You need a cheat to turn that on, but that's all listed too. It has all of the names of the EA lots and mine that corresponds with it. So if you're on console, you can easily download them. It also has instructions on how to split up some of the families and stuff like that. So, yeah, I have also a where is it? This one you can use with for rent if you like section them off, which I'm planning on doing anyway and uploading it as a different lot, but that's also an option if you want to do that, and I don't have it done yet already. So yeah, let me get rid of this. I'm going to go into each lot, show them off a little bit in game. You had kind of seen a preview of what each of them look like. All without G Shade. I do all my speed builds with G Shade on, and so I made sure to show them without it. So right now my game has no recolor on whatsoever. So this is just how the game naturally looks, which I figured most people would want to see it this way anyway, instead of with a filter on. So I'm gonna go right into this potion bar and like first because my cursor was already on. And now we're on the lot for Evergreen Potions. It is a spellcaster bar, so everyone local to the town kind of hangs out here. This used to be a bar lot anyway. Without moving the camera around way too much, I'll kind of show the back of it. There's a place to sit and have like dinner or something. Uh, there are some upstairs areas, so I have kind of an old storage room with some chairs that maybe had broken from the bar. The story for this lot is that a woodworker used to live here. They own the bar downstairs, so they're a bartender. They make a lot of the furniture in their apartment and down below, but they no longer live in this apartment. You could see they still have pictures of them and their fiance. So this is the bartender named Rosie, and this is their fiance named Clover, and they live somewhere else in the world. So I'll get to them in a little bit. But I also have a small potion shop up here. I wanted to fill in some space. I kind of figure that maybe you can buy some of the drinks downstairs in bulk here. So they make them all here and they can sell them. There's like coins on the counter to make it seem like they are buying it from there. It's not functional. Uh and I don't think it would work very well if you put it in a retail. So I wouldn't do that. Anyway, this is the main part of the bar. I'll try and show like some of this. If you want more detailed view of this or any of the lots, I do have each speed build. I also have pictures on my Instagram and also on my TikTok, both of which are TheCrackedKyber with links and such below. But yeah, I have just a place for everyone to hang out. We got a piano in the corner. more pictures of them because I wanted it to seem like they worked here, even though technically, um, my sim's not going to work here. It's just going to be a random hired bartender. But I like to think that that is what is happening. It gave me more motivation and inspiration when I was kind of like designing what each of the lots were going to look like. You could see some of them off in the distance, very small, but I'll head over to the next lot now. I've never done a overview video like this before. I don't really know how they work. I'm doing my best. But because I just spoke about Rosie, I'm going to go over to their house. I'll go in play so we could kind of see the family. So I made a comment on the Patreon post and I explained that for some reason my Sims are wearing outfits that I did not give them. I think it's something with the magic realm that they changed their clothes. But I gave them like cute outfits for each of like their different outfits, and for some reason all of my Sims decide to wear randomized clothing, which is very disappointing because I spent a long time picking out cute little outfits for each of them. Anyway, here is the witchy cabin. I imagine that Rosie here might have built up most of this. They do repairs around the place when things break down. Kind of that vibe. There's a cauldron in the back with some magical stuff around, a cute little gnome. In the house, this one is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. You can see that they have a little nursery here, and it's because I wanted to make it seem like they're kind of preparing to start a family after they get married, or before they get married, depending on whichever one you prefer, I guess. So they have different wood blocks, like as if they're building up the nursery as they go. I imagine that they built most of the furniture in this house, stuff like that. And Clover here is actually related to some people in the world. There is Myrtle and Grandpa Glimmer, and she has a brother who passed away, and we'll see his kids here who just moved in with the grandparents. And I have their mother too. Yeah, right here. Wait. Oh my god. Did something mess up? I think I might have forgotten to make them connected. So that could be intentional or guess it really doesn't matter as much. I wish that didn't happen, but that was a mistake on my part, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll head over to the grandparents' house now. So over here is where the grandparents live. This is where Clover grew up. I do want to check. Okay, they're just like, okay. I guess I'll just accept that something got messed up because they are sisters. I don't think it's registering as half-sisters, which is good. That's all that matters to me. And so all of these Sims are here. You could see that they have a horse named Stinky. They moved here from Chestnut Ridge, so that's where their father kind of moved, met their mother, I guess, and had the kids. And they didn't really know that they were spellcasters until they ended up moving here and they realized what was going on. I'm trying to change their outfit because I did not put them in these clothes. I gave them all really nice outfits. Yeah, see? And so we have the horse. I built a little stable in the back for Stinky to hang out in. And yeah, so there's bedrooms for each of them. I imagine that this would have been their father's old bedroom, which is now going to be Olive's bedroom. And over here would have been the aunt's old bedroom, which is now Willow's bedroom. Just the grandparents' room. Little storage area and different magical clutter around. I have like more just like little bits of lore I created for them. I won't go through all of it because I don't remember all of it, but again, if you want to hear about what was inspiring me while I was placing the items, you could find that all in the speed builds. Now I'm over in the library lot, which is right kind of near the bar that's down the road, just right over here. And it is a residential lot because I wanted more families to live in the world, and so you kind of have to pretend that the rest of the town would kind of come here and study and like check out books and stuff. and so she is in charge of the library, but her passion is gardening. She grows lots of different magical herbs and such in here. She has a collection of gnomes because people keep buying her gnomes for her birthday, is what I was saying. And it's not that she even likes gnomes, but she has them anyway. And up here is her apartment. Definitely changed to her style over time, where the library is more so just how it was when it was passed down to her, where now this is like kind of her own space. And she has this really nice magic room that I really enjoy, and different pieces of like gothic kind of witchy clutter around the place. Up here are just some towers with more study spots, and that's about it for the build, but she has some relationships. So Clover is her ex, and she knows pretty much everybody in town. Some of the people I haven't shown yet. Most importantly, I guess, to her is Finnick. He is the professor who just moved in with his daughter, Darla, and he is researching the magical properties of plants. So he is not a spellcaster. And maybe I should explain who's a spellcaster and who's not. But everybody I just showed before, they're all spellcasters. Finnick and Darla, they are not spellcasters. And they moved here. I guess he heard of some rare plants and he wanted to understand them a bit more. So he came down to the library, and that's kind of how he met Starla, who turned out to be growing most of the stuff in here. And so she's kind of been his guide on all of his studies that he wanted to know. And we'll go over to his house now too, because that is a 3-house area, which could be compatible with for rent at some point. I'm planning on doing this. Oh my god, everyone's just all over the town. So unfortunately, if you download this, the Sims are just going to be all over the place. That's just what's been happening. Every time I go in to like test something or change something, I have to like send the Sims home constantly, which is good. It makes it seem like lively, I guess, that they're going all over the place. And I'll kind of explain whose house is who in here too. So I have Finnick Finch. This is his house. A small cottage. It's a 2-bedroom. Perfect for him and his daughter. Oh my god. She's all the way down to the library. It's not that far, I guess. The world isn't that big. My whole thing when I was doing this is that I wanted papers and study stuff all over the place. So it's like all he does is work and he's researching, and they don't really have dinner at the table or anything. That was kind of the vibe. And again, he's wearing a different outfit that I didn't give him. But in here is kind of just like the living room where Darla has some of her toys. So where he kind of takes over these 2 rooms, she kind of has her own room where she's able to take over the same. She has her bedroom too with lots of colorful stuff. And I really like this office space in his bedroom. I think it's really like nice. And to the left over here, we have a cemetery. I guess I could show the whole build. Yeah, I have 2 gravestones. You could see it is Beat and Pepper Glimmer, who were the parents I was kind of talking about before. I moved their tombstones here, kind of with the idea that you could resurrect them. If you do choose to do that, you could probably edit their relationship to make sure that they're all connected, because apparently I missed that while I was putting it together. But over here is a fortune teller shop on the bottom. It is owned by Spec. She is right here. Oh, she's working out. And you kind of walk in, you could pick up different things here, buy them, like check them out. And over here is where you would wait to have your fortune told via like tarot or whatever divination techniques that she uses. This is where she does her fortune telling. And you could see that Flo here is not a spellcaster. In my story that I kind of made for them, I like that, like, she used to be a spellcaster, but somebody cursed her. Maybe they didn't like the fortune that they had gotten. And so she was cursed, and it slowly drained her life force until she passed away. But Angelo, her husband, was able to find a cure to bring her back to life, which I imagine is the Chestnut Ridge wine. This is not his outfit. And yeah, so that's their little story that I have. Up here is their apartment. Apparently Gardenia is over right now. This wouldn't happen if you like selling them with for rent, which might be better. And up here are just some apartments. I imagine people passing through Glimmerbrook stays here, and that's it. There's no one who lives here. That was just I was filling empty space, and that's what I kind of agreed on in my head. And back here is the churchy type build. This is a funeral home and the home of Gardenia Snow, who is a vampire. So up here is her bedroom. She just has a little coffin she sleeps in, an easel. I feel like she's witnessed a lot of death in her lifetime being immortal, and she spends her days helping Sims grieve losses. And she has a painting station where she could paint portraits of Sims. And down here is the office where you would kind of meet with her. There is a little space where you could hold a funeral. She also does her own flower arranging down here, and she gets all of her flowers from Starla because she hates gardening. I do want to show the magic realm, and maybe I'll just do that with one of these Sims because I think that's the last part of it that I need to show. So we're gonna go and do that now. I really like the magic realm. Maybe I can show the world a little bit while she's going through. It looks really pretty. I'm really happy seeing all of my builds like together like this because I've spent so much time on them and I never thought I'd be finished with it. And it's just like really nice to see all of my work together like this. And kind of more cohesive than I imagined I could ever make a world, which is why I've never done a save file until now, because I thought that I'd never be able to create something like this. But I'm really happy with how it came out, and I'm really proud of it. So it is nighttime now in the magic realm. You can see the build that I made. It has very intricate landscaping, a lot of glowing green lights hidden in these stones. So this is supposed to be like a magic school. I do want to convert this to like work well in Copperdale. So that is something that I'm going to be working on as well. So over here, I'll start from the bottom as if like you're kind of walking in. And there is the nurse's office when you walk in. There are chess tables, little study spots. These are some of my favorite spots in the build, is by these windows. I just imagine studying there would be really nice. There are lockers, and the lockers are kind of blended in a little bit because the lockers are very modern, and I found it hard. So I put some columns around and different wisteria to hide them a little bit. These are, I did make sure that that's enough lockers for Copperdale, so it'll be easier for me to convert it in the future. I've got a little music room over here. A potion classroom. Up here is another study area with computers, a couple bathrooms, a place with some art just to fill up some space. Over here is an astrology classroom. I have a bunch of different stuff related to moon phases because I thought it was fitting. Then I have greenhouses up here where you could like grow things. Then over here is the second part of the school, which is one of my favorite parts, and it is these 3 sages offices or classrooms. So here's one of the sages, Elphaba. She is the sage of mischief magic, and this is her little office right here. I used the color palettes of The Sims, so hers is purple, so I have a bunch of purple. I ended up picking different elements that matched kind of the like spells you can learn. It's more obvious over here in the practical magic classroom. There are different plants that you could conjure up. There's tools to kind of like show you that you don't need them because you can now repair stuff using magic. And over here is Morgan's area, which is the untamed magic. There's fire starting stuff. There's like a fire extinguisher and just various different like fire element things, and also the color scheme of red. And up here is a cafeteria which will be functional with Copperdale, but if you click on it, nothing happens, because I think you need to have it be a school lot for that to work. But that, like, if you don't if that doesn't work, you can still get coffee and tea over here, and another classroom and a small cafeteria over here. But that's the entire save file. I spent a lot of time on it, and I am really happy that it's complete, because it means I can focus on some other stuff and take a little break from doing a save file, because it did take me a long time. Also, it's completely free. It doesn't cost any money. I just used Patreon because I figured I could upload a file big enough for that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and for following me on this journey of my first ever save file.